What's going on, everybody? Josh Engleman for Awesemo.com, and I am back with my NBA DFS contenders on DraftKings for Friday, May 21st. Now, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you know when this and all of our other content goes live. Follow me on Twitter at Josh Engleman so you can get updates to these sim results as we get closer to lock. And finally, let me know in the comments section who is your favorite and least favorite of my contenders for today's slate. We are rounding out the bottom of my top 10 with Michael Mulder, Dylan Brooks, Jaren Jackson, Draymond Green, and Jonas Valanciunas on the outside looking in. Who will be my favorites? My top 5 plays for today? It is time to find out. First up at number 5, we're going to Ja Morant. He is 9,400, projected for 40 fantasy points. He shows up in the captain spot 11% of the time. Flex spot 38% of the time. That puts him in the optimal lineup 49% of the time. That's 38 minutes for John. I think that he can play more. I wouldn't be surprised to see 40 or 42. They are playing for their playoff lives. 1.06 DK points per minute with 26% usage. That's 20 and a half real points, 8 assists, and 5 boards, plus a steal in a pace-up spot against the Golden State Warriors. You're just expecting Ja to go for it. He's going to be the guy with the ball in his hands for the majority of this game. And for the Grizzlies to succeed, Ja Morant is going to have a big game. I like getting to him in the captain, but honestly, we're going to have to see the ownership. We're going to have to see how frequently people are going to Steph in the captain spot. But for right now, Ja coming in at number 5. Next up at number 4, we're going to $6,600 Kyle Anderson. Slow-mo is projected for 29 fantasy points. He shows up in the captain spot 5% of the time, shows up in the flex spot 44% of the time. He's in the optimal lineup 49% of the time. Gave him 30 minutes. Doesn't appear that Brandon Clark is going to be a part of this rotation, so 30 minutes for Kyle Anderson seems about right. He'll be right at a fantasy point per minute, 17% usage, and then you're getting a little bit of everything from Kyle Anderson. 11 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, a steal, a block, pace-up spot. He's a very different play in this game, but I think he's savvy enough to be solid. And the fact that he's only 6,600, I think that average price tag works pretty well for him. His minutes seem pretty safe to me. It wouldn't even surprise me if he went north of 30 in any significant way, particularly if this game is close. So I really do like getting to slow-mo here. And he's basically in the optimal 50% of the time. Slow-mo is a coin flip to be in the optimal. I think you need to have him a lot. Next up at number 3, we're going to the center spot for the Warriors, and we're grabbing Kevon Looney at 4,600. I've got him projected for 22. He's in the captain spot 3% of the time. He's in the flex spot 50% of the time. This one's going to be a minutes thing. Looney's likely to be on the floor as much as Jonas Valanciunas is on the floor. Otherwise, Joe Val's going to just absolutely beast. And they don't really have any other choices behind Looney. So I have Looney in for 29 minutes. I don't know if he can go much more than that. 0.76 fantasy points per minute. The stats aren't very good. 10% usage, 7 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, maybe a stock. It's not ideal, but he's 4,600 and you're buying minutes. And if he is out there having any sort of success, and he had some pretty good success on the boards against the Lakers, and that's another big front court. I think that he can do it again, but the battle for rebounds between he and Joe Val is going to be very important. And I don't think that Looney has enough wiggle room at 4,600 to be wrong. However, I do want to be there because they don't have many other options. His minutes are firm so long as he's not in foul trouble. Now at number 2, we're going to $8,200 Andrew Wiggins. He's projected for 36, shows up in the captain spot 10% of the time, in the flex spot 44% of the time. Grand total, 54% optimal odds. 38 minutes, 0.96 fantasy points per minute. Wiggins has just become a solid contributor for the Warriors. 24% usage. You're going to get your buckets. He's projected for 22. 5 boards, 2 assists, a steal, and a block. A little bit of everything, I guess, for Wiggins, but you're relying on the scoring. And I really don't hate that in this matchup against Memphis. I'm not all that worried about their defense. Although, if Dylan Brooks is on Wiggins, he did a hell of a job 2 nights ago. We'll see if he can do it again, but I think we try to see Brooks on Curry at least for a little bit, but what do I know? There's so much switching in NBA nowadays. You never know who's going to end up on who. What I care about are the offensive stats, and Andrew Wiggins is going to be bringing the buckets for sure. Not enough to get to number 1, but no one really had that chance, but he's a firm number 2. Now, before we get to that number 1 contender, one last reminder, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and then hit the notification bell so you know when everything goes live. Then head on over to Twitter, follow me, at Josh Engleman. It's the only place you're going to get updates to my sim results as we get closer to lock. Finally, let me know in the comments section. It's underneath this video. I want your favorite contender, your least favorite contender, and the guy that you think should be on this list that you didn't see. In the shock of all shocks, number one, $11,400 Steph Curry, projected for 56. He's the optimal captain 33% of the time. He's in the flex spot 47% of the time. In the grand total, he's in the optimal lineup 80% of the time. I know what you're seeing on the screen. It's due to rounding. Don't worry about it. 38% or 38 minutes, 38% usage, 1.46 fantasy points per minute. I don't really have much to say. I've got him projected for 37 real points, 6 boards, and 5 assists. If you don't know that Steph Curry is the best play on this slate, the guy most likely to be in the optimal lineup, I don't really know what to tell you. Keep an eye on the ownership. That could make some decisions for you in GPPs, but Steph Curry is very clearly the first guy that you're putting into a cash lineup. He's got the biggest ceiling. He is the most frequent optimal, and it's not close. 25% ahead of Andrew Wiggins. Just play him. He's Steph Curry. He's the best guy on the slate. Alrighty, folks, that will do it. Those are my NBA DFS contenders on DraftKings for Friday, May 21st. FanDuel version of this video is in the books. Check it out. There is no process show, but you can watch the strategy show at 10 a.m. with myself and Laffy breaking down this entire game. And then that's it for me. No live before lock, but I will have updates later today. I will be on the deeper dive on Saturday. Not normally my show, but I am making an appearance there, so check that out. Good luck tonight, everybody. Have a great weekend. I will talk to you guys again Monday morning for another edition of the Contenders.